It was my honor to meet and play with one of the best drummers I've ever worked with. And I'm a lucky man, I'm a bass player, and I get to work with some monster drummers, a couple of whom are here tonight. Just monster drummers. And I'm lucky. And I am lucky that another monster player came into my life, and he's enriched it musically, he's also enriched it as a friend, and he's on faculty here at the school, so if you want to take lessons from him, come talk to us, and we can hook you up with some drum love. He's worked with everybody in your dog. You saw the flyer. He's worked with pretty much everybody that there is to work with because he's super stud. Put your hands together for Mr. Bogie Bowles.
I'm going to sit down where I'm most comfortable and most protected. No, I'll just yell.
Yell?
I've got one of those voices. Hi everybody, thank you so much for coming. Really appreciate it. So, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. This is the first clinic I've done. And I'm insanely nervous. This is how it's going to go. I'm going to do my best to breathe and not speak at like, 1,000 RPMs. So, alright, how many drummers do we have in the house today? Okay, non-drummers? Thank you very much for coming. And for putting up with this. We're going to do a lot of technical talk for a little while. The main focus of this clinic is going to be on groove. That's what I do. That's what I love to do. I've always loved it. I love chops. I love fills. I love that crazy drummer energy kind of thing. But groove is really where I feel most comfortable. I've always been most attracted to that. And it's something that, for the most part, that's what I've gotten paid to do. I mean, you can play all your fancy paradiddles and stuff like that on the gig, but most people think you've been studying out of that book, Licks to Get Fired By, when you do that. So I typically tend to stick with the 2 and the 4, make the kick drum feel good, and go from there. So let's talk about a few things. Drummers like to focus on 3 things, right? We've got the time, we've got the groove, and we've got the feel. I know some of your names, and here's where I put you on the spot. Danielle, tell us about the time.
It's on a clock.
Tell us about musical time.
Time is how we measure space.
Yes, that's perfect. That's absolutely perfect. Time is how we measure the space. It's whether it's beats per minute, how fast or slow the song is, or whether it's just everybody playing together at the same tempo. There's that kind of thing. But the focus of the drummer is to keep the time steady and even. Keep the tempo even. There are some songs that speed up and slow down. That's by design. That's by default. Whatever. But we want to focus on keeping it even and making the groove feel good. Okay. Now the groove is whatever pattern we're going to play, right? So that depends on what everybody else is playing. Are we going to and what are we going to focus on in the groove? Are we going to lock in with what the bass player is doing, or the piano, or the guitarist, or play off the vocal melody? And another thing to really consider is, are we playing exactly what somebody's playing, or are we playing a foundation so that they can play over the top of us? And I'll give you a few examples when I bring the band up, and I've got some smoking players to play with today. I'm really excited about that. So when I bring them up, you'll see a few different examples of how that works. Like, am I totally locking in with everybody, or am I just playing a foundation and they're playing their parts over the top? What I'll do, it can be the most minimal thing, but it can change the flavor of things like that. So, and that's when we get into feel. So with feel, you're talking about how does the tune sit? How does it feel? Does it make you dance? Does it make you sit back? Does it make you go to sleep? Does it make you wake up? Whatever. So what I'm looking to do is, I want to make the song feel good, no matter where it is, no matter what the tempo is. You'll hear a lot of people talk about playing behind the beat, make it really slinky and funky, and you hear a lot of different adjectives for that. Or you'll hear about people playing on the front of the beat. And a lot of people think that that's real stiff, but James Brown made a career out of a band that played on the front of the beat. And it's had a lot of energy, and it made you want to get up and move your feet. So anyway, I'm going to give you a few examples. So, first off, protect your hearing, because it's going to get loud. But here's a couple of examples of what I like to call the straight eighth groove, right? It means the phrasing of the notes. Straight eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. The feel is very even. That's why they call it straight. And I'm locking into that. The bass drum will play off of it, but that's the basic subdivision. 16 notes is twice that. You usually count that 1 E end, a 2 E end, a 3 E end, a 4 E end. So it'd be something like this. Right? So there's your 16 notes. You can also play it with 2 hands. Now, what I love to do is to hear the guys and play that stuff, what we call swung, or in a triplet-based feel. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, or 1 ta-ta, 2 ta-ta, 3 ta-ta. And you play the first and the last notes. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4. You hear it on a lot of old blues records, which I happen to have played on some blues tunes. You hear it on a lot of R&B, and you even hear it in a lot of music today. But it sounds a little bit more funky. Sounds more like this. You hear the difference? Not everybody at once, please. Yes! Good, thank you. All right, so with another 16-note groove, the one with the busy hi-hat thing, you can play that swung as well. And it feels more like a halftime, what they call the halftime shuffle, which is this. Okay. Now when I'm listening to a song, like if somebody's playing it to me for the first time, I want to listen to what the guitarist is playing, how he's phrasing his notes. And that'll tell me how the song feels. Do I play the straight eighth groove, or do I play the 16th note groove, or do I play it swung? And sometimes they get into this area where they're not playing it completely one way or the other. It's kind of in the middle or in the cracks. And I'm going to play you an example of a Stevie Wonder song, and I'm going to play it with the band a little bit later. But Superstition. Anybody know who played drums on the Stevie Wonder song Superstition? Other than Dave? Stevie Wonder? Yes, indeed. Stevie Wonder plays drums. Very well, I might add. Yeah. Go listen to Living for the City. It's incredible. Blind as a bat back there killing it. Other great drummers that you may not know are great drummers. Prince. Fantastic. Plays on the majority of his own stuff. Lenny Kravitz. Another fantastic drummer. A lot of people don't know that. But Lenny's the guy back there doing all that stuff. So anyway, a lot of they weren't schooled, so they don't have like the technical facility that a lot of guys have. They just want the song to feel the way they want the song to feel, because they wrote it this way and it's supposed to feel this way. So they'll play it, and it'll just feel however it feels, but it comes out with like it's a very unique kind of bed that they put it on, and then everybody else comes in around it. And so the Stevie Wonder groove is kind of more like this. And I couldn't really lock in with that either. So it's a little bit in the middle, and it's got to feel good. It's got to feel, a lot of people call it, Dave likes to call it greasy. So it's got to feel greasy. It's got to feel kind of good and slippery. So those are examples of those grooves. Now, again, how many drummers do I have in the house? Okay. I'm going to do something a little out of the ordinary. I want to